It's not even Controversial Tuesday, but I have something incredibly naughty to say. Very heretical. It's probably the king of heresies that I've ever shared with you all. I began talking about this in 2023, but I'm going to say this here so I can go to sleep. What kind of fool trusts liars' lips to speak the truth about it? What kind of fool trusts liars' lips to speak the truth about it? On Controversial Tuesday, I think I'll try to make a longer video on this, but tonight I'll keep it short. Tomorrow's Sunday. 3/9, I think, is tomorrow. So 3/8. Today's the 8th of March, 2025. And I believe in 2023, I began exploring this concept, but I didn't really have a lot of time. I'm bringing it back now. What kind of fool trusts liars' lips to tell the truth? And I would tell you that to use the word fool, I feel here is a bit of a judgment and an overcalculation. Because as I argued in 2023, what really is going on, let's just say, just for a moment, for my atheist friends, for a moment, consider that there is something true about what the Christians are saying. Okay, just for a second. And that they are, however adjacent, however watered down, however reversed inside out, backwards, messed up, mixed up their beliefs are, that there is some grain of truth to it. And so if you're able to arrive at that point without hurling, some of them are like, too much trauma. Now consider what I'm saying. What kind of fool trusts liars' lips to tell the truth about it? And I would tell you that if you've gotten this far, then listen to this. It's not an act of a fool. It's an act of extreme aggravation and judgment. In the South, we have this phrase, I'm sick and tired of sick and tired. And there's a time when a person gets so sick and tired of being sick and tired that they retract, they withdraw. It's like what the 92% right now are doing, Black women are doing. We're like, we've done everything we could do to help, to fix this, to prevent you from walking the path to prevent America from walking the path that she is walking right now because of white supremacy. Because of people who will not change. They will not grow out of their infancy stage. They will not grow up out of their supremacy. So Black women are saying, fine, burn it all down. But as I told you guys in January, hey, these people who prepared a poison for certain groups, like melanated people, they about to eat that poison. And was I ever? I think I said that January 18th, I found the video. Was I not right? Have I not been absolutely correct? But I digress. So let's walk back to this. I was thinking about this the other day. So what if the fact that entity chose, that entity chose a human to convey, to retain the knowledge of it and to convey it accurately in the way that it has all been done, was not an act of mercy. Death on the cross. None of that was mercy. None of that. Okay? But that act of unaliving, like a teacher of the knowledge of it. Some say God itself, some say God's son, whatever. But that God was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so it surrendered human beings to themselves in the most diabolical manner. And the diabolical manner it birthed like Christianity and this degradation of humanity that's been pushed around the world, to the extent that unless and until humanity, because it's just this weird thing that I don't understand how other people haven't drawn the conclusion. And I understand that for a cultist who's caught up in that whole ultra grace nonsense, or that those extremists who are all caught up in everybody's gonna burn nonsense, that they fail to see any other views like of their religion than their extremes or their adulterated mixed understandings of it. But I would ask you guys to think about it. If that entity, probably make a really good movie, probably a really good like series, like the entity was so sick and tired of being sick and tired that it just decided, like black women do have now, like, I'm good. You know, if you want to burn it all down, you want to be evil, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to wipe memory of myself from you. I mean, you're humans. You eventually going to die anyway. You forget the information you pass down. You pass it down and it just gets all overblown, warped, and mismanaged anyway. So let them do it. Go on. This really feels like the equivalent of that. Go on. When a black woman in the South says that, go on, do that. Go on. Go, which is to go ahead, go on and do that. They really mean that mess. They're going to let you destroy yourselves. And that's what all this is. Because I've brought up in various videos for the past week thoughts about this, especially for black people, for people in general, because humans need to, I think people are really often scared of judging the God that they have been inculcated, that they have been taught has the right to judge them without putting on display and verifying the fact that that God has the right to judge them. And they're afraid of turning around and looking at the handiwork of that God and judging whether or not that God should have any place in their life. And that unfortunately human beings fail to do that until tragedy strikes, and then they deconstruct. But I'll say this again, or I'll finish my point. It's interesting to consider that Christianity itself, the lack of that God, right? I'm going to throw that God a bone, because earlier this week, I said, and I even put it on my YouTube channel, when a God can't defend its own good name, can't be bothered to show up and prevent people from twisting knowledge of it, lying on it, presenting and selling it like a good, like a product. Like, why would you want that God in your life? And and really the another video, because I was trying to break them down into smaller ones, like, what kind of statement is it that God is making when that God doesn't defend its own good name, does not prevent the knowledge of it from being packaged as a good, from being twisted and warped, from being used to tell the abused that their abuse was somehow a good thing, as we looked at this week? So I'm gonna pose that to you all. What does that mean? Is that evidence of a God who is sick and tired of being sick and tired, and has surrendered humankind to itself, and is allowing them to suffer from this degraded and warped view of what it is? until they clean up their behavior and learn how to